Uh, Hello and welcome to Mills Hill Primary School. My name's Ian Mason. I'm the lucky person who's the head teacher here at Mills Hill, and I'm the unlucky person who's doing this for the first time in front of some of our new parents whose children are starting in September. This is obviously a very difficult time for school. We don't really know what September is going to look like. We are trying our best to sort out a transition for your children coming to starters when we don't actually know what the world's going to look like. So we're trying our best to give you as much information as we can at this moment in time, but clearly there's an awful lot of this which is not going to come out until the summer, I suspect, or even later, depending on what the national picture is. But I thought it was worth introducing ourselves and explaining what we'd like to happen, so that you at least have some knowledge which may change given the circumstances. Please bear with me though, this is literally the first time I've used this software and recorded it, and I am going to have to flick into a presentation in a moment, so you'll probably get a really bad close-up image of me, but just close your eyes for about 30 seconds. I am going to share my screen, so there's a presentation on screen as well, so just bear with me. Okay, that seemed to work, and apologies if you got a really bad close-up. Welcome to our induction meeting. Normally we'd have all 90 or so of you, 180 of you in the school hall, and we'd talk through a whole load of things about your children coming to join us. Sadly, we're not able to do that because of current restrictions, so this is just an attempt to give you some information. As I said before, my name's Ian Mason, and I'm just the lucky person who gets to be head teacher here and see all the amazing things that go on every single day. And I'm just privileged to walk around school and see it all happening. So I can sum Mills Hill up in about 4 bits, really. Well, this is a picture we've got on one of our walls in school, which tries to sum up a lot of what we're about. And I'll just briefly talk you through some of those bits. At the top left-hand corner, we've got our Kagan learning. This is our approach to learning. We actually believe that children learn best through collaboration and working with other children. They don't work best by themselves. They need to develop independence, but actually their learning is greatly enhanced when they work with other people. And we follow a system called Kagan Cooperative Learning, which we've followed for a long time here at Mills Hill, and it's been highly successful. And by the time our children leave at the end of year 6, they're amazing at working together and being collaborative and sharing ideas and elaborating on other people's ideas. At the bottom left-hand corner is just an image which represents how we deal with behaviour management. The way we encourage children to make good choices is literally about giving them a choice. As parents, we often feel backed into a corner, and I've been there. I have 3 girls. They're all fortunately relatively grown up now, but they were little, and it doesn't seem that long ago. But I do remember those bedtime battles with getting them ready for bed, and it was a huge challenge, and we all eventually lose it and go to bed or else, or put your pajamas on, or you're not having your iPad, or you're not having a story read. And actually, that's not helpful. We need to try and develop the language of choice, but it's 2 positive choices. So I take the bedtime one. It's a case of, it's bedtime. You can put your pajama top on first, or you can put your pajama bottoms on first. It doesn't matter. And because you're giving them 2 choices, they generally will choose one. And actually, you're happy with both of those choices. It doesn't bother you which they put on first, and it avoids potentially confrontation. And we do that through all of our dealings in school with children. So if we sat in a classroom, sometimes we'll say to children, you can sit like this, so you can sit like that, with your hands on your knees. You choose. And again, 2 positive choices, and they choose one of them. The bottom right-hand corner is our curriculum journey. Because like all schools, we've got to cover the national curriculum. So that's the stuff we have to cover. But we believe passionately that we need to give our children an inquiring mind and a caring heart. That's our school slogan, inquiring minds and caring hearts. So we want them to ask those questions, which as parents we hate, those why questions. Well, why does this happen? But what if I do that? you know, where they continue, but why, mummy? But why, daddy? But why? We want them to ask those questions because it develops a love of learning, but also we want them to have a caring heart. We genuinely want them to care for the people around them. We want our children to wander down the corridor in school and see a coat on the floor and to pick it up because it's the right thing to do. Not pick it up when someone asks them to, but actually to make that choice that if that was my coat on the floor, I want it picking up, so I'll pick it up. The right-hand corner says an awful lot about what we're doing because we believe in the potential of our children. And forever telling our children that you are the future stars, you are the future leaders of society, you will be the people that determine what society when I am older and greyer and rich. So we need to get the job right. And some children will be phenomenal at maths, some children will be phenomenal artists, some children will be amazing at PE, some children will be good at many things. All children will have something which they are particularly got a skill or a talent in, and we want to nurture that. So one of the first things children see if they come to the main entrance to school is when to the school you are a scientist, an author, an engineer, an explorer, an artist, a whole load of different things, because that's what we believe. As I mentioned briefly a minute ago, our school slogan is Inquiring Minds and Caring Hearts, and what you've got in front of you there is our mission statement. This is what we aspire to achieve with all of our children. And we developed this probably now 7 or 8 years ago, and we're continually looking at how do we deliver this in school. And those last words are absolutely key. School life is safe and fun. We want your children to have a great time at school. We want them to enjoy themselves and we want them to be safe. When I was a parent sat where you are and my children were about to start in reception, I wanted them to be happy in school and to do as well linked to their ability. That's what I want for all of the children here at Mills Hill. Just some pictures here, just to give a flavour of some of the things that we do at Mills Hill. And I'm not going to talk particularly about any of them really, but I'd like to point one of them out, which top left-hand corner. And we've got a little girl there who came up with her life story, what she wanted to achieve in life. Because it's our job to give children aspiration and ambition. And what she did was create an artist palette because she wanted to be a graphic designer. So each of those splodges of paint on her picture were steps she had to do. They had things like get some good GCSEs. It had get a management qualification. It had research the shops in Oldham to see if there's a graphic design shop. Then she may not become a graphic designer, but it's the process she's gone through in terms of that thinking process. Just like to give you a couple of quotes from parents, and some of these are quite old, but we still think they're absolutely relevant. Some time ago, one parent said that Mills Hill was a great place for young people to go into themselves, which I thought was a lovely thing for parents to say about their child's journey through Mills Hill. We tend to share a lot of these quotes on the walls we walk around school just to remind children and staff what it means to be part of Mills Hill. And another one here was written a couple of years later, but it was all the staff who support my child are truly amazing. What a credit they are to you. It's more than just a job. They genuinely care, and I feel like they want to see him succeed as much as I do. We love, obviously, getting comments like that, but that's genuinely what we try to do. Whenever I wander around, and I'm lucky when I get to wander around school and see what's going on, whenever I wander, I see all sorts of amazing things taking place. And it brings me great pride, but it's I can tell everybody what a special place this is. And genuinely, I really do think it's a special place. Sometimes you're now starting this journey with, and the journey is a long journey. Some of them will have joined us in nursery, and some of the children are coming to Mills Hill for the first time, hopefully in September. And it's a long 7-year journey. And we'll take that journey together. And like all journeys, there'll be ups and downs. There'll be bits that go well, and there'll be bits that are more of a struggle. And at different times, your child will need different support. Sometimes they're going to need an encouraging voice in their ear. Come on, you really can do this. I have every confidence in you, believe in yourself. Sometimes they might need a stern word. You know you can do this. Come on, get on with it. Let's do it. And we just need to adapt how we approach our children. All children learn and grow at different rates. One of my main messages is don't compare your child to someone else. My girls at home used to frequently throw at me what I used to say to them, which is the only race in life is with yourself, because they compare themselves to their older sister or their youngest when they got a bit older. Actually, what I'm saying is you're fighting with yourself. It's your battle against yourself. Don't try and battle your sister. It's nice to have a bit of sibling fluid, absolutely. But the race in life is with yourself. We're all unique individuals and we progress at different rates. And every journey begins with a single step. And I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for choosing Mills Hill as the school of choice for your child. We recognise it's an incredibly privileged position to be responsible for the next 7 years of your child's journey. We recognise, though, that that's a journey we have to do together, and it's not just school. They spend way more time at home, so it's important that we work in partnership. And that first step into until whenever it happens, hopefully in September, but whenever it happens, is the start of hopefully a long and fruitful partnership. And this is the bit that I use to demonstrate that sometimes we have to direct people. Yeah, you've got to do this because it's the next thing you need to do. Sometimes on the journey, we'll lead from the front. We'll show them the way. This is how we do things. This is what we want you to do. Other times, we'll be at the back, sort of bellowing at them from a distance to encourage them. And we all need that sometimes. But equally, sometimes there are hurdles that come our way when we fall down flat, and my staff will be there to pick them up, dust them down, sort them out, and get them back on the journey. It is impossible for us to do this job by ourselves. We need to work in tandem with home, and we'll try our very, very best to have open and transparent lines of communication where you can catch class teacher or make an appointment to see class teacher, just so that we can work at this from both ends. Just like to share a couple of pictures which we believe in terms of our aspiration and ambition. Probably now 7 years ago, I challenged the children at Mills Hill to be the next Jessica Ennis-Hill or the next Mozart, because there are no limits to what we can try and achieve. We may not get there, but there's no reason why we can't try to get there. So we started off with that idea of being someone and achieving something. And when I came up with those lists of famous people, I deliberately picked some Oldham people. So there's 3 or 4 people from Oldham. It's about recognising the people that we've had in our town that have gone on to achieve great things. We moved on from that now to a picture, which has got 25 very famous Oldham people. Some will know, some you won't know. But actually, because children, what we say to children is, we want you to be the next. And so in another 10 years' time, if a new head teacher makes a new list of 25 Oldham stars at Mills Hill, are you going to be on it? What are you going to do to make yourself be on that list? And it's on that particular list of 25, there are 3 people who actually attended Mills Hill Primary School. So over on my left, we've got Mark Robbins, the footballer, and we've got Daniel from Coronation Street, both of whom attended Mills Hill. And in the top right-hand corner, basketball player Gina Briley. Gina left us probably 8 years ago, and went on to get a scholarship in basketball, has studied America, has represented the country at basketball, and has done amazing things. And I've actually got her basketball shirt, her England basketball shirt, in my cupboard waiting to go on display around school, because she came back and she presented her year 6 team with her basketball shirt. Now, once we'd wiped away the tears, that was an incredible meeting, because that's what we want our children to be. We want our children to aspire to be someone. So they will be reminded of that message continually on the journey. This is a reminder, going back to the message which I talked about when you went to the children, you are a whole variety of things. Our job is to find a niche and to find a particular talent for your son or daughter, so that they go on to achieve success. But that last word that's just appeared is absolutely the key. They are the future. These children that will start with in September have a far brighter future ahead of them than sadly I have ahead of me. And we wish them well, and working together, we will achieve things. But fundamentally, the children are the real here. Each and every member of staff at Mills Hill genuinely goes out of their way to encourage your children and help them on their journey to become the best version of them that they possibly can be. And I always finish with this picture because I love the picture, frankly. And it just shows children in a PE lesson with great passion and emotion on faces. And those children actually are currently in our year 6. And so they're just about to leave us in a couple of days. And so they've had their 7 or 8 year journey, and they're now ready for the next on journey into secondary school. What I'd like to say, as soon as we know anything as to what school is going to look like in September, we'll obviously share that with you. We'll put as much on the website that we can, and we'll regularly update that as far as we can. And we will be in touch via email as to start dates, start times, staggered start times, and all the sort of things that I know Ms. Tweedale's put in a pack. Thank you very much for listening. I hope this hasn't been too much of a chore. And I hope I don't have to do many more of these Zoom meetings. Frankly, it's quite scary just looking at yourself on a screen. Have a lovely time. Thank you very much.